4 months, let's go indeed. Good morning, everybody. Shadow of Malice, thank you for the 4 months. Also, Anthem of the World, thank you for the 5 gift subs during the warm-up screen. Even appreciate you so much. Thank you for the support. Person typing 95, thank you for the 8 months. And Quirky 666, thank you for the 6 months. Thank you, everybody. Welcome. On what is a pretty special day. Some of y'all who are following me on Twitter already know what we're doing today. But well, I'll keep it for a bit. Why don't we warm up slowly and then talk about that? Huh? We have a little special thing in the mail today that I was surprised by pleasantly this morning, so that's something we're gonna do today. And then we have some other stuff that's going on. But first of all, how are you guys doing? Josh is in the title. Why would you narc like that? Why would you say that? Why would you ruin my introduction like that? That's a weird thing to do. Yes, it's in the title. Of course it's in the title, but that's how it works. You still tell the people what we're doing today, no? All right, Chad, how are we today? What's going on? What's happening? What is happening? We're visiting Ember today to see the trophy? No! No! Anyways. Ninja structure deck is out. Yeah, there's a couple things going on in Master Duel. Dude, sometimes in Yu-Gi-Oh! There's weeks where there's very few things going on. Like last week before the ban list was kind of like that, you know. Sometimes I would go live and I would be like, okay, there's not that much to talk about. Let's just play some Master Duel or whatever. And then there's weeks like this one where there's so much going on in like all different games, right? Like TCG fresh format, Master Duel Festival, Master Duel new cards. It's like so much going on and you don't even know what to do out of all the things, but you know, we'll get by. The second event is up and the first will go out in a couple days. See, that's what I was thinking about because I don't think we've done any... Have we even played the first festival? I don't think we have. I don't think we have. When do you usually get out of bed if you start streaming at 12? I get out of bed at like 8. Normally. Like 4 hours ago, something like that. I don't wake up very late. What does this do? Well, first of all, it makes me happy. Thank you for the 6 months, Yaki Lamb. But it also makes it so you don't have any ads. Isn't that great? Am I too late to spam washed? No, you are just in time. That is the keyword. That is the keyword. We are about to be called a washed streamer again. So let's go. You look familiar. You look like an Altergeist. Wait, this is anti-alien? Oh, it is anti-alien. I played this card 2 days ago. Paul Grop, thank you for the prime. Appreciate that. Thank you. What the hell is this? I've seen this before, but I'm skipping. Butter Spy Protection. Is this Grinder Golem? It might be. Yeah. Oh, not the Performapal Stars, dude. I hate the Performapal Stars. What is this called? I'm not even gonna bother. I'm not gonna bother. Kaleidoscorp. Photon, right? Surely it's a photon. Full armor? Full armor. Photon Dragon. Okay. Is this bingo machine? Bingo machine, go! Okay, nice. What are you? Oh, this is Xeno. Yes. Yes. You are not Tornado Bird. I don't know what it's called. Faith Bird. Right. Why did the music stop? Okay, I lost some seconds to restart the music. It was this might be pole position. Yep. I think this is Sprite Pixies, and I think this is the first one in a long time that we get without zooming. Hell yeah. Oh, Forceful Sentry. W Wing Catapult. Yes, yes. Reaper of Prophecy. Yes. Oh, we're doing good so far. I shouldn't have said that. Miracle Contact? Yeah. What is this? Gravekeeper? Gravekeepers. Is this Heretic? I don't think it's Heretic, it's Oracle. Yeah. This is something I. Senri I? Is this a thing? Yeah. Oh, this is it Rika Petal? No. Is it Petal? It is Petal, right? What do we have here? Musketeer, I think. Yeah, I think it's Casper. No. Max? Nope. I'm just gonna skip. I think it's a Musketeer. Mastermind. Okay, I don't remember this one, but it was a Musketeer. Cloudian. Acid Cloud. I don't know what that is. XYZ Extreme. Ooh, this though. Oh, this is something Parshath. Sanctum of Parshath? That sounds like it, right? Yeah. This one I don't know. The Photon Current. Oh. Is this Redox? Is this Reactan? Yeah, okay. Ooh. I've seen this, but I'm gonna skip it, but it might. Is this Zombina? It might actually be Zombina. It's not. White Princess? White Princess, right. Ooh, I've seen this one as well. Magic Cat? Yeah. This one I don't think I'm familiar with. I don't think I know this. No. This one. Yeah. The raccoon. This is World Chalice Fairy. Could have gotten this with less zooms probably. What do we have here? Weather Painter? I'm not very good with Weather Painters. I think it's Weather Painter. Cloudy Canvas? The Weather Cloudy Canvas. Alright. Oh. Um, no. What is this? Ghost Trick Mansion? Not Mansion. I'm skipping this. I don't know what it is. It's a Ghost Trick card, but is it Parade? I was thinking Parade. Oh, it's Parade. I could have gotten it. I trusted HCKO. I'm never doing that again. This is something Reactor. Spell Reactor? No. Trap Reactor, of course. Of course I would miss the 50-50. Is this Sudri? Yeah. Why do I know this? I'm concerned. I should not. Yeah, here. No. No. What is this? Oh, Kaliga. All right. Oh. Resonator. Mirror Resonator? Yeah. Oh, I know this one. Is this Needle Sealing? No. Is it? It might be. It is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I used to love Needle Sealing, dude. I played that card in side deck so much. Oh, this is yep, that one. Dragoonity. There's so many. I don't know which one this is. Trident. Wise Man. Yeah. Mizuho. Mizuho. Yep. Oh, I've seen this. I know this. Very old. But I don't know what it's called. Ghost Garner. Chaos Goddess. Yep. I don't know this one. It's like Pendulum, Odd Eye stuff. Soul Pendulum. What is this? It looks somewhat familiar. Does it? Oh no, okay, I don't. I was tripping. Blue Duston? Yeah. Uh, I think yes. I think so. Yeah. Cosmol Wicked Witch. Thank you for the 4. But yeah, I'll tell you about the deck doctor. I was gonna do it this week. Maybe we will. I'll see. The battle is kind of threw off some of my prep for this week. So, but no, we'll get to it. Not sure what that is. This looks from Melodious Diva. Mozarta. Wait, no, that's not a thing. Mozarta. Oh, Maestra. Oh, okay, okay. This card looks sick. It's Buster. I think it's some Buster Blader support. Karma. Ah! 4. 4. Nebula Disc. No, wait, what? What's it called? The Chronomaly. Oh, Nebra disc. Right. Is it Odd Eyes Vortex? I think it's Odd Eyes Vortex. Yeah. This one I don't think I know. Yeah. Oh, what is that? Gem fusion? No, gem. Hmm. Is that brilliant fusion? Am I tripping? It's brilliant fusion. Okay. We don't talk about it. Oh, this is a ninja. This is the ninja fusion, the new the Mazen. Yes, Mazen the battle ninja. Yeah. This is it. Chaos trap hole. Oh, dimension fortress weapon. Spear dragon. This one I don't know. No. Engage. Ah, what is this? It's not Trigon. The hell is this? I don't know. Oh, Apokrelov. Right, that was possible actually. What is this? Insect. This one? Bio insect armor? Yeah. Is it? No, it's not Brilliant Rose. Oh, I don't know what it's called. No, I don't know what it's called. I have to skip it. Revival Rose? Revival Rose. It is Revival Rose. Okay. What is this? What is that? Oh, it's like a Raid Raptor or some shit. Okay, no, what the hell? Oh, come on. Don't screw me over like that. I need cards that I know. I've never seen this before. I don't think I've seen this one either. Oh, it's the freaking Billion Blade. Oh god, screw that. Come on, what kind of last minute is this? Oh, we're so close. Ah, we're so close. Man. Ah. Don't say wash, dude. Don't say wash. Not on 969. Come on. Nice, by the way. Not on 969. That was a good one. That was a good round. It was a good attempt. The man was personal. No, I actually thought we were gonna do it. I thought we were gonna do it, and then like the last minute was just giga cringe cards. Like what the hell? What the hell is these two? And then Boon of the Mechlord Emperor. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. We were just one easy card away from 1,000. One easy card away from 1,000. Should have gotten Billion Blade. I did get Billion Blade. I did get Billion Blade, but the thing is, I was already zoomed in like 3 or 4 times when I got it, and the time to find that card was not worth it because it wasn't going to get us to 1,000. That's why I didn't bother. Like I saw that it was Billion Blade. I said that it was Billion Blade before I skipped it, but I was already like 3 zooms in or some shit, and it wasn't worth it. Close though. We're getting there, chat. We're getting there. We will be back in our old form. We will return. We will return to full power at some point. It will happen. All right, let's quickly do this then. Rongo, level 4 XYZ effect monster from 2015. 2015. Majester? Close. Good attempt. Not Direwolf, that's 2015. A Teller Knight? Not Triver. It's not Ptolemaeus. That's rank 5. No, I don't think it's one of those. Bujinki? No. Bujinte? No. Is there are there Fire Fists from 2015 still, or is that all earlier? It's all earlier. What else did we play in freaking 20 Bahamut Shark? Maybe no. That's 2012. Jesus. Trapeze Magician. Hold on. Oh yeah, it's Trapeze Magician. Easy. Easy clap. Easy clap. Trapeze Magician. All right, that was our average three attempts at this one. We will never be washed at this one. This game is based. This one is based. All right. Why is Rongo so busted in every format? I don't know, dude. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. Ever had one? Well, no, it's never been Rongo. We always start with Rongo. It was never Rongo. Not yet. But someday it will be. Imagine that's the crazy thing to think about. Imagine if I keep stringing for long enough, it's gonna be Rongo someday. It was never Lone Fire. Yeah, that's the thing. Imagine if it's ever Lone Fire. We're gonna be so sad. We're gonna be so sad. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like someday it'll be Lone Fire and we regret starting with Rongo. At some point it'll be Lone Fire Blossom and we will sit here. We will probably get it on like the second or third try because we start with Rongo and they both have 1500 defense, right? So it's going to be super easy. But still, we're going to be here and be like, damn, dude, at some point we always started with Lone Fire Blossom and now it was actually Lone Fire Blossom and we didn't get it in one try. But it is what it is. Nightshade Inari, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. Welcome. Always appreciate the first time subscriptions. Thank you so much. All right, chat. There's a lot of things going on right now. First of all, Ren Kazuma, thank you for the full year. That's going on right now. Thank you for the support. I have something here. Hold up. Let me get it. I don't know how exactly we're going to do this, by the way, because I don't know how, but we'll see. So, okay, let me see how we can do this. It says fragile, handle with care. So I'm handling it with care right now. But look. Okay, I don't. Look what it says on the box. I don't know if you can tell. Ooh, look what we have. Look what we got. What do you think's in here? What do you think is in here? I don't know a few days ago, but the timing was off. You ended up not seeing it. The weird thing about donos. First of all, I'm sorry that I missed it. The weird thing about donos is that they don't show up in the activity feed by Twitch because they don't go through Twitch, which is why sometimes I miss them. So I mean, feel free to just ask me again, and I'll try to answer it. Leaking the name, dude. Our names were literally all over the freaking coverage of the World Championship. How is this a leak? No. I don't mean to donate again. You can just ask the question in chat right now. You don't have to donate again. Absolutely not. That was not what I was saying. All right, so I want to open this up. The problem is, hold up. First of all, I need to be careful with it. I need to be careful with it, but and I have a top-down camera. The problem is it's too large. The package is too large. Give me a second. Right, you can't see shit if I do it like this. You can't see shit. I think we're just gonna have to do it in the face cam mode. I think we're just gonna have to do it like this, right? Like opening up like this. I think that would work. I think that could work. Ugh. All right. Let's get this bad boy out here. Don't break it. I was not planning to break it, but thank you. I wanted to know if you were open to doing like a submit a decklist doctor series for player feedback and YouTube content. Well, I've done this in the past. I've done this a couple times already. So yes, we will do that again at some point. Ow! Holy shit, it's a box inside a box. I'm being trolled. It's very well protected. There's a lot of paper. Look, chat, it's a box. We got a box. Isn't that crazy? Hell yeah. What does the box say? It says, World Champion, Konami, Tokyo, Japan, August 2023, Snipe Hunters, Joshua Schmidt, Jack Rory, Steinkammer, and Emre Kizlatis. Is what the box says. And that's it. That's the prize. That's the opening. We opened the box. Very nice. That's where it ends. Actually, is it small enough now to open it like this? No, it's still too big. I hope it's another box. Okay, I don't think it's another box. But there's so much plastic around it. And this is it. Woo! Oh, why is it this music? This is the kind of music that would play if I broke it. I don't like this. Wait, is this supposed to be loose? I don't remember this being loose. Monka Christ. Anyways. Focus. There we go. I am genuinely not sure if this is supposed to spin like this. It doesn't really make sense that it does that. I don't know. It's not like the biggest issue, but well, I guess I'll ask the other people that got a trophy. Ask your other teammates if they have this. You see, the thing is, they don't get one. It's only the team leader that gets one. But it is what it is. I mean, the thing is, like, you're gonna put it somewhere. You're just gonna put it somewhere, and then it just stands there, right? It doesn't really matter that it does this. But I don't think this is intended. I don't think this is intended. This may have broken on the transport. I don't know, but it is what it is, I suppose. Oh yeah, there we go. Small indie company. I mean, look, hey, it's if that shit happens in transport, I don't think it's the company's fault. You saw how it was packaged. There was a lot of shit around it. All right, there we go. I'm not gonna put it on the shelf, by the way. If you've ever wondered why none of my like big trophies are on this shelf, it's because I don't trust this shelf. I do not trust this shelf at all. There's nothing super valuable on it because I know at some point I'm gonna run into it and everything is gonna fall down. So that's why this will not end up on there. So I'll just put it aside for now. How much is the rescue rabbit again? Well, first of all, the freaking rescue rabbit will not break. Okay, like it'll not break. It's a plushie. And second of all, I don't know how much it's going for. I got it for free from Master Duel people, so you know, I'm not worried about the rescue rabbit plushie. The rescue rabbit plushie is gonna be fine. Okay, that one's gonna be okay. All right. All right, that was nice. Finally, it arrived. I'm gonna people investigate with the other people that got a trophy, whether the thing at the top is actually supposed to spin. But even if it's not supposed to spin, and they do something like, "Hey, we can send you, we can repair it for you." I don't know if I want to like send it back and then wait like 3 months to get it back again. I don't know. I don't think it matters that much. It's interactive. Right, interactive. Sag that Emra and Quantal don't get a trophy. I know it's weird. Well, like, I mean, it's not weird. It's because it was announced that way, right? We got a document before the event saying that was going to be like that. So it is what it is. I think it was a little bit, the prize pool in general for Master Duel was a little bit weird, right? Because the way it normally is for the World Championships, it's always around like 25 to 30 players in every category, right? Like for Duel Links and the TCG. And so it's always about 25 to 30 players play for 4 prize cards, right? 1 for the first place and 3 for second, third, and fourth. And they get a different prize card. So it was always kind of like that. And now Master Duel came around the corner and was the first time ever to have teams, right? And in the initial document that we got, in the initial announcement, it said that only the first place team would get any prizes, additionally to the entry prizes, right? Like everyone at the World Championship gets like entry goodies, and then they only announced extra prizes for first place, like, oh, because we were wondering, right, if there's only 8 teams, are they really going to give out prize cards for top 4? Because technically that's like 50% of the whole tournament, which is like way more than in the TCG or in Duel Links, right? It's like that's a crazy amount of prize support in comparison to the other events. And also, are they going to give every single one a prize card? Because then you get freaking 3 prize cards. Like normally the first place prize card is like super limited to what there's like there used to be only 3 copies in the world, right? In all the previous years, there's been 1 for Duel Links, 1 for TCG, and 1 for Dragon Duel, right? So there's only been 3 copies of the first place prize card in the world. If they give the first place team in Master Duel 3 copies of the card, it's just that's as many as they previously did to, like, in general, just for Master Duel. But they ended up doing that. They just ended up doing that anyways. Like, everyone got the prize card. And then they also, despite them announcing that only first place gets a prize card and no one else gets anything, they still gave out prize cards for second, third, and fourth teams. So they just handed out 3 extra first place prize cards to Master Duel and 9 extra of the second place prize card. This one, hold up. This one, because I saw on Twitter that Tasuke, the Japanese player, that they got top 4. They lost against us. They got their prize support yesterday as well. I guess I could ask him if his thingy spins on the top as well. I guess I could ask if this thing spins. But yeah. So they were not supposed to get a prize card, right? They were not supposed to be to be getting a prize card, and they were just surprised on Sunday on Monday morning even. I know it was like that for Jesse, Ryan, and Raymond, right? They thought they weren't going to get a prize card, and then they just woke up on Monday, went down to the hotel lobby, and the dude was like, "Hey, yo, you still get prize cards." Dark Magician D, thank you so much for the 8 months and the kind words. Appreciate that. Could you spin your trophy really hard? I'm not going to do that. Do you know what the world's prize card usually goes for? There's no real price tag on it. It just depends what like collectors are willing to pay for it. It's very hard to give you a number. Like I've heard very different numbers for very different years. Like it's very, very, you know, like I don't know. What's the value of the trophy? I have no idea about that. I know trophies typically also can go for a lot of money. I personally, trophies are the kind of thing that I would never sell for money. Unless of course I was super desperate, but luckily enough I'm in a position where I don't need to do that. Partially because of all the support I've been getting, you know, from you guys for streaming. It's because, you know, my job at this point in time actually does pay well enough to the point where I don't have to sell stuff like my trophies to sustain my Yu-Gi-Oh playing life, you know. But yeah. 10 subs, question mark. I respectfully decline your offer. All right. But honestly, I was very happy that all of top 4 got prizing, because honestly there's nothing worse than like losing in top 4 or the finals of an event. Well, in general that's a bad feeling, but then like not getting anything on top of it is so crazy, right? It's like they still got a lot of value for making top 4, so I think that's good. As far as to like the trophy only going to the team leader, I don't really know why. Like surely producing a trophy would not have been that extra expensive, right? But it was a team tournament, so I guess, I mean, in like other team sports like football or whatever, you also only have one trophy for a team that wins, right? It's not like everyone like gets, because everyone gets the card, right? Everyone gets the card, but there's only one trophy, which is kind of normal, right? In a lot of other sports and stuff. It's that there's like one trophy, and then everyone gets one other small thing, right? Like I think for football, it's like they get like a medal or whatever, but there's only one trophy, so it's kind of normal, I guess. You know, it's kind of just like it's kind of normal thing, right? Normal practice. So it's whatever, I guess. Josh, it's a small indie company. No, I understand that people would just like to hate on everything they can get, right? Like everything they can find is like something worth hating on, right? Yeah, I understand that. Like people just love to do that, but it's just like, I think in most things there's just one trophy, right? It's kind of just like the thing you are playing for, the trophy. Yeah. And then giving it to the leader, I guess, makes the most sense because, yeah, the leader is the one who did the heavy lifting to qualify. So, right, it's fine, I guess. But yeah, okay, that was that. Very happy it finally arrived. It's actually funny because yesterday, Konami Europe posted their like recap of the World Championship final day. Right, like on Twitter and stuff. Like they posted a YouTube video of like recapping the World Championship and everything. And I saw that and I watched it. I also retweeted it in case you're looking for the link. You can just go !socials, I think is it, to find my Twitter, and then you'll see it there. I retweeted it yesterday. I watched that, and while I watched it, I was like, I wonder when my trophy is gonna arrive. Maybe I should message them about it. And then it just arrived today, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I should not message them about it. So that was that. FOF5, thank you for the 5 months. Appreciate that. Okay. That is that much for that. Let us proceed into the realms of content for the day. Messaged him anyway. He's like, "Where's my trophy, dude? Send me the trophy." just casually attempt to scam Konami into getting another Worlds trophy. Yeah, very good idea. Surely that's not gonna go bad. Why does it spin? Why trophy spin, Konami? Why trophy spin? All right. You should check the other ice barrier support from the structure deck. Is there more that already that came out? Let me check. No. Have I been baited? Have I been one guide? Okay. Well. All right. So, I guess let me tell you guys what we're doing today, because it's two main things I wanted to. Because like originally, my original plan was to do Master Duel today, because there's a new event going on, and there's some new cards that I wanted to look at, and we are going to do that in a little bit. We are going to do that. Before that, though, I want to finish something that we started. Sorry, that we started doing yesterday, which is I very very quickly, maybe an hour or something, want to look at some other decks for the upcoming TCG format, because we've started looking at Unchained yesterday, just worked out, and I really want to keep this. I want to keep this like down to the ground. Just like look at the baseline of like how does this deck look, some of the theory behind it, just like maybe 10 to 15 minutes on each individual deck that are mostly to be expected on the next format. It's like, and this is not just, it's not just supposed to be educational for you guys, it's also supposed to be something that I need to do. This is part of my preparation for YCS Dortmund, is like, look at how a standard Unchained deck looks, how a standard Unchained deck maybe plays, maybe some lines that it does, maybe some possible tech options to expect, and maybe discuss some cards that are good against it, right? That's what we did yesterday, right? Remember, we looked at an Unchained deck list, looked at how it's going to maybe be adjusted for the new format. We had Pack in chat telling us how to play around Nibiru with the deck and how to play around Bystials. We watched the Jesse Cotton video of like how to play around Bystials. And then we talked about some specific cards that are like good against Unchained, right? If you haven't seen yesterday's stream, you might want to check out the VOD channel, right? You can go / YouTube and it's on there. And I want to do the same kind of thing for some of the other decks in the format, right? I want to quickly look at like, Purrely, Rescue Ace, maybe the new version of Dragon Link, if there is one. Like what does Branded Chimera look like? These kind of things, right? I just want to do a couple minutes for each deck and evaluate how they look moving forward, because that's I suggest you do that, because like preparing for an event is not always about, or it's always about also knowing the other decks very well, not just knowing your own deck, right? Knowing how other decks are being built and how to beat or how to pilot other decks is always very helpful. Yeah. Lab also gets some cool options with Ice Heart gone. What do you think changes about Labyrinth? Like like give me an example of what you think fundamentally changes about Labyrinth, because I wouldn't think Labyrinth changes that much. Shuffler's IDP, I guess. Yeah, I guess there's a couple cards that are really good against a lot of decks, but they were very bad against Kashtira. IDP is a good example. A very powerful card that just sucked against Kashtira. And IDP is also very powerful against your worst matchup, probably, which is Unchained. I still don't know if I would suggest to play Labyrinth in this upcoming format, because Unchained, even with IDP, seems like a tough matchup. But, but IDP is insane against Unchained, yeah. So, yeah. All right. And with that, so like I said, there's a couple decks we need to look at. So let's hop right in. I'm just trying to think of what we start with. We've already done Unchained. Why don't we do Purrely? Purrely, in my opinion, I don't know if people share this opinion yet at this point in time, and if it's accurate in terms of representation. But I'm expecting Purrely to be like, I'm expecting Unchained to be the most popular deck for YCS Dortmund. But I think Purrely is going to be in a solid second place in terms of representation. What do you guys think? Is this what other deck would you expect to be very, very popular in the first weeks of the format? All right, also Flu. You really think Flu is gonna be that popular? Because I think Flu is gonna be solid. Actually, I don't think Flu is bad. I'm just saying I don't think there's that many people that really like Flu. Right? You got to be a special kind of individual to bring Flu on the Reese to a tournament. I feel like there's not that many out there, right? I think European people really like Flu. It's always been a thing here, yeah. It's always been a thing in most formats. But like, I will say, I think the one, I mean, I don't know. Flu is in a weird spot in my head. I don't know. I think Flu is, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Flu, but you guys know that. I don't think, okay, I will say I am pretty confident that Flu is not going to be the second most represented deck at YCS Dortmund. That I don't think that's going to happen. I think that I feel pretty safe saying that. I feel pretty safe saying that I don't think Flu is the second most represented deck. Like I don't think it's that. I really don't think it's that. Is that a challenge? That, I mean, if you want to take that as a challenge, go ahead. Bring freaking Flu to YCS Dortmund. I'll catch you at the, I guess, Time Wizard side events or some shit. But I really don't think it's gonna be the second most represented deck. All right. The only reason I'm asking is because I'm trying to determine the order in which we look at those decks. But I think Purrely is a solid second place to be expected. Kornkorkler, thank you for the gift sub. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. We have one solid starting point for Purrely, and that is a Gabriel Nets top 16 YCS Cancun deck profile. And like we did with Unchained yesterday, I just wanna go through this and maybe think about what's going to change going into the upcoming format. Because surely there's going to be a lot of cards in here where you change the way you look at them going into the new ban list. So let's just look at it. Give me a second. Here we go. Up.
What's up, guys? It's Cormac back here with the Disciples, and here we have...
Oh, it's... hi, I'm Gabe. It's my deck profile from top 16 in Cancun. Yeah, that's where we are. So we just finished.
Bro is traveling to so many events that he doesn't even know where he is right now. That's crazy.
I got top 16. I was... I was finished like 14th after Swiss. I won top 16 and lost top 30... won top 32, lost top 16 to Cody. And yeah, I mean, it's Purrely, but I know there's a Purrely deck profile from 2 days ago, but I actually played Go First Purrely, but kinda. So yes, stay tuned for, let me show you. I don't have a good explanation other than showing it. The idea is that I wanted to play Purrely, but I was very ill, and I didn't back myself of breaking boards the whole day. And so I was like, well, what if I release a Go Second Purrely deck profile? People randomly start making me go first. It did not happen. No one made me go first. I also managed to lose like basically all the arrows, which is it all in frame?
It's all in frame. It's all good.
Is it your frame?
Yeah.
It's just Purrely engine. Like I max on it. But the idea is like, yeah.
3 Streets is interesting. I saw his going second deck profile last week from the other YCS. In going second, I think triple Street makes a lot of sense. Going first, not sure if I would play 3 Streets, but I guess it's fine. It's a very good card. It's like, I don't think you ever play 1. I think you always play 2 or 3, and I mean, it's fine.
I choose to go first.
Like your setup, it's such a good card to have in addition to a solid setup, right? It's not a starter card on its own, which is, I guess, what people don't like about it. But I mean, you're already maxing out on starter cards, and I'm assuming there's 3 prosperities. So what else can you really do for consistency? It is what it is, right? So just play other solid cards that complement your openers, and this card is fine.
Improve a bit of the bad matchups like combo.
It protects the Black Cat from Imperm. Yeah, it protects the Black Cat from Imperm. It also makes your shit harder to remove because your stuff replaces itself, right? It makes going second in some matchups really good. Like, I think this card is pretty good.
And I think that against Unchained,
and it makes your odds for the main deck purely for the OG Purrely a lot better, right? Because now you have 16 hits plus the trap, 17 hits.
Unchained going first. Like Jesse's list didn't main trust last weekend, and he was not playing 6 books, only 3. So I'm like, oh, against this, I can resolve like Noir and win the game. So I was like, what if I go first? Against Cash, it's a bit worse. We can still win going first. And if I knew it was Cash, I was telling them to start.
Sure.
What happened is that I lost like 8 die rolls. So I just played Go Second Purrely with worse cards. And I was telling a lot of people to start both sides. There's not much of a difference. But yeah, Purrely engine, box standard, still 3 field spell, even though I choose to go first, because I like going second post side, and it's good in a bunch of matchups, and I think the White Cat hitting is valuable. And then another thing that changed, I actually played 3 pots. I think I mentioned this last one. I'm just bad. I should have played 3 pots. There's less draw, so this always goes through. And it goes pretty well with the side cards. I don't like this card going first because it doesn't actually do too much. Like, there's not a lot of specific cards you want to reach. The best use is trying to hit Delicious to try to beat books, like Hard Make Noir. And it's cool because it puts a spell in Grave, so when you get Delicious and use Prosperity, you have an extra target to attach with Plump. So that comes up.
You have to start your plays in the main phase? No? I mean, yes, but the thing is, like, right now, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to start playing in the main phase. Like, I don't think Droll is very good in the main deck right now. I don't think it's very popular. And I don't think you should expect to see it for YCS Dortmund, because with Unchained being by far the most expected deck, Droll and Lockbird is not very good against Unchained. So I don't think that should be the argument right now. It's like just Droll is a card you could expect after siding maybe, but even then, you know, there could be better options. Not everyone is going to side deck Droll, and I would not expect to see many main deck Drolls, if any, at YCS Dortmund.
And then I was 3 Astro Nib. I wanted cards that when I draw off Sleep you're good. I think these are bad into good Unchained players, but I back that I can beat the bad ones by drawing Nib, and it was true. I think Ash is actually somewhat better into the good ones because you just hope with them like passing on, like they 2-card combo you and you.
I mean, Ash is okay against. I think Ash is okay against Unchained. Like it always forces them to have specific extenders, right?
Actual trap and they pass.
Aimless, thank you for the prime.
So yeah, they're pretty good. And then each play doesn't go first because of Eclipse.
But that is one thing in general that I don't like about Ash in recent years. It's like a lot of decks these days. And I suppose that's part of Konami's design philosophy, right? They don't want a lot of decks to just hard lose to Ash. Except for Branded. They just said fuck Branded when they made it. But like, for a lot of decks, they're being designed in a way where your way to outplay Ash is to just have pretty much any extender, right? Like against, you could theoretically Ash against Kashtira. It wasn't terrible, right? You can Ash Unicorn. But if they already have Theosis, or if they already have a certain extender, you still do exactly the same thing. Or you could Ash the field spell, but if they already have the Unicorn, your Ash just traded for 1 card in their hand, right? And so it's just like, that's what happens when a lot of a deck's engine is like interchangeable with each other, right? Like a lot of engine can just be replaced by other pieces of engine. So if you Ash to stop them from getting to a certain piece, if they just have an extra piece in their hand, they can just keep playing like normal, right? The only times where Ash really hurts a deck is when they have specific once per turn card effects that can't be replaced with a different card, right? They can't be substituted. Like Branded Fusion, right? The stuff that Branded Fusion does cannot be substituted in a branded deck, pretty much, unless you have a really insane hand, right? Whereas like for Kashtira, it's like, hey, the stuff that Unicorn does, you can replace that by simply drawing one of the spell cards, right? That you were going to search, right? You've essentially replaced the Unicorn effect by drawing any additional spell card, right? And so Unchained is kind of the same thing, right? Let's say they go set a trap card, special Aruha, you ash the trap in the graveyard, which is not a bad play. It's a completely fine play. But if they just have like normal summon Rakea, or they have the red dog in hand, or they have a tour guide in hand, they still do whatever they were going to do, right? It's still the same combo pretty much. And you don't really get a much better target for Ash. It's not like, I don't think Unchained has any super crucial like parts of the combo where you can Ash, where they can't just invalidate your Ash with another extender, right? Ash is pretty solid to back up your board going first. No, all that doesn't mean that Ash is a bad card now. By no means. Ash is still a very strong card because it forces your opponent to have an extra card in their hand, right? Like and it does this very consistently in pretty much any matchup. Like it forces your opponent to have, instead of a 2-card combo, they now need a 3-card combo. Instead of a 1-card combo, it becomes a 2-card combo. And so it will always trade for your opponent's extenders, basically, right? In any matchup. And if they don't have that extender, they don't play. And that's especially valuable. You're right. That's especially valuable when you go first, because you just make a board and you have you want to simplify, right? If you've already made a board, it's really good to simplify your opponent's ways to play into the board. And Ash does that really well. It's just that Ash is by no means as oppressive as it maybe used to be at some points. At certain points, there used to be a lot of decks where Ash could hit a very crucial choke point, right? But in some ways, that's a good thing, right? Because Ash is really not too oppressive. Like, you really want to try and avoid, in card design, you really want to try and avoid, in my opinion, you want to try and avoid situations like with Branded, where like one card does way too much so that the entire deck revolves around it, like Branded. And Branded Andes in chat are going to be like, no, the deck does not resolve around Branded Fusion. I can still win a YCS if my Branded Fusion gets ashed every time. Yeah, do it then. Like, freaking Branded Andes. Anyways, I don't think it's a healthy because I don't think it's a healthy interaction, because it's super like high variance, right? It's freaking does my opponent have Ash? Yes, I lose. Does my opponent have Ash? No, my deck is doing way too much like deck that it shouldn't do, right? And so I like that. Ash is mostly like a fair card most of the time in this format. Like, it's a solid card, but it's a fair card. The only thing that I don't like is that sometimes it feels bad when you're the one holding Ash and you're playing against one of those decks and you're ashing them in a correct spot, and then they just have the extender, which is down to pure luck. Let's face it. If there's nothing skilled about, I don't know, summoning Unicorn, your opponent ashes it, and then you hard drew Kashtira Theosis, or, you know, whatever, right? Or like your opponent decides to not ash the Unicorn because they want to ash the Theosis, but you have Fenrir also in your hand, so you just grab the Birth and then normal summon the Fenrir. And then it's just like, okay, well, you know, you should have ashed the Unicorn in that case, but you had no way of knowing that. So it introduces some other kinds of variants, but overall, I like the power level where Ash's at the moment. I think it's fine. COFX2, thank you for the Prime. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Need like more Alistair clips, because that's the most common one.
And then, yeah, Thrust and Talents are another big issue. Why sometimes ashing for medium impact and then getting thrusted or talents is like, that's a very bad feeling.
And then I main this god-awful card of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Main crossout, okay.
It was less bad this week. This card's, of course, a lot better going first than it is going second.
This is crazy because people actually play crossout to hit Book of Moon and Book of Eclipse. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that shit? What timeline are we in? People are main decking crossout Designator to call Book of Moon. That's crazy.
Cross out the Boom.
Boom Gang, thank you for the prime.
Cool thing, I played Kang and then I put this in for Herald of the Abyss because that's his noir out. Then I drew the Herald of the Abyss.
Unlucky.
As curse card. But I think you have to play and go first Purrely. Like, your deck actually breaks apart somewhat well, so sometimes this pairing straight for an Ash works well. I hated it less than I thought I would when submitting the list. And then 1 Moon, 2 Eclipse. So, I guess 2 Eclipse.
I mean, this is cross out ratios, right?
1 Talons, 1 this. So it's like cross out variety targets. It's 41. In theory, you could just not main this Duster, just play 40. I kind of like the Duster, and there was one thing on the side deck and extra deck that I was unsure, so like I'll just play the Duster in the main, play 41. These are all good. Yeah, not mentioned. I don't have a lot to say. There's a lot more in-depth explanations on Purrely on the other deck profile. This is just a quick overview. This is still the same side deck. This is the same from last week. The Trust and the Storms and the Abyss. I really like it. So this is basically what I had in the main deck.
Wait, was this 41? Because I'm counting 40. I'm building it on my secondary screen. What did I miss? Hold up. What did I miss in the main deck? Oh, talents. Okay.
For Vancouver and
Sao
Brazil.
Paulo.
The idea, and then now I just have them in the side, and then post side at the side if I want to play go first Purrely or go second Purrely. I was telling Unchain and Cash to start, for example. So yeah, D6. The one thing that's new is layers. So I play 3 layers.
Ooh, Slayer.
This fucker, this one, and this. So the idea is that Slayer is like the biggest blowout you can have against Unchain. I remember last deck profile had some Bestials. Those are awful when they play into Trust for bad here. Slayer cleans up the.
This is a big issue. Is like I like cards like I while I do think there is very solid lines for Unchained to play around Nib and to play around Bestials, I still think overall they provide decent value. The fact that they play into Talents and Thrust is a big issue though, because a lot of the builds that I've been seeing for Unchained are literally maxing on Thrust and Talents. Like Pack maxed out on Thrust and Talents for YCS Cancun. Like literally 6 copies that super punish a Bestial or like a Nib play if they it is iffy. So like it's looking like we're in this weird spot again where hand traps are kind of good, but a lot of decks are doing stuff to counter hand traps, so you want to go board breakers again, but then you might lose some win percentages against the combo decks because you don't have hand traps, so when they go first they just kill you. It's going to be an interesting thing to figure out.
Link, and then you can use it to clean up the Exceed, or if you already have an Exceed out, you can hit a back row. They're okay for me whenever I drew.
Didn't Pac say yesterday that Slayer doesn't really work against Unchained, or did I get that wrong? Slightly. Okay, Pac's argument was that Jesse and him were doing a line. I recommend you to check out Jesse's video on the specific line. I just want to briefly, to get it out there quickly. They are ending on they are making a slightly different play on turn 1 to play around Nibiru and to respect Bestials, and their standard line ends on just Wave King High Caesar, a set trap card, and the red dog in hand. Instead of they don't have Unchained Soul of Rage on the field, right? So Pac's statement was that line plays around Nibiru, and it is better into Ultimate Slayer because you don't have a Link monster, right? My argument against it is that I still think it's a good, I still think Ultimate Slayer is good against that board because you still shuffle away the XYZ, right? The Wave King Caesar. Like, it's still good. You're not sending a free +1 from the extra deck because there is simply no really good XYZ target for Ultimate Slayer. Like, even if you wanted to play one, there's only like Meteorologic Aggregator or whatever, right? But you still kill the most powerful thing they make, which is the Wave King High Caesar, right? It's like you just shuffle that back and they don't get the contract search because it doesn't go to the graveyard. So I think Ultimate Slayer still is really good against that opener. Yeah. It still is a high value card in this scenario. The only downside right now that I see to Ultimate Slayer, there's two downsides. The first downside is, of course, it needs extra deck spaces, like right here. Well, right here it's side deck spaces, but it's the same thing, right? You either have to sacrifice extra deck space, or you have to sacrifice side deck space to side in the extra deck monsters. It's not ideal. And the second issue is that it seems like you need to play the Evil Twin, which I don't like. I was hoping that with the release of Bucephalus and Garura, we wouldn't need a Link monster as a target for... we wouldn't need the Evil Twin as a target for Ultimate Slayer, because freaking playing a brick is awful. I guess in a deck like Purrely, it's okay, because you can discard it if you draw it. Not the end of the world, I guess. But still, it kind of sucks having to put an additional card that's a brick into your deck.
They were good. The top 16 I drew it and I got back.
I'm really scared of my non-engine losing the anti-spell, losing to anti-spell too. See, that's another layer of the issue, right? You see how you have to keep thinking about it and keep reiterating because, you know, people are playing around Nibiru and people are playing around Druisworm and they play and that plays into Thrust. So I'm gonna play board breakers, but now some people are siding anti-spell, so if you go for board breakers, that doesn't work. So it's gonna be a challenge really when going into YCS Dortmund, where like you really have to try and predict what people are going to do, right? Because there's no right or wrong in these kind of situations, right? Because Ultimate Slayer can be an insane meta call for one event and can then be absolutely horrible for another event. Because you really need to observe meta trends. For YCS Dortmund, there's no meta trend to observe. It simply is not a thing. You can't. There's no big events before it. The only thing you can go off of is this one, which is a different format. So, you know, not complete. It doesn't transfer 1-to-1.
Here, so I lost anyway. But the card is meant to be good. And in this deck specifically, because you have Slayer, Trust, and 3 Prosperity, so you get to this Slayer a lot in the matchups it matters. This dropped a bit of the cash respect, but the cash matchup is so good that like you can keep like nibbing against cash and it's not bad, right? Like you have so many good cards into cash, you don't have to have the 15 perfect ones, like Ricars, for example. And then Entus is for... Also Discover Dragon Link. The deck kind of had a problem against Dragon Link because you don't play like multiple hand traps. You can Slayer, send this, the Seal, and then there's a Borderland. So yeah, you can do stuff. And then I did Entus because my deck is awful into Chimera and Despia, and this allowed me to cover this with Slayers. I haven't played against it to make sure if it's Entus or Garura. There's a world that Garura is better. Entus works very well if they don't know what they're doing, because like when you Slayer the Chimera guy, they can chain Chimera Fusion to make birth from that Chimera guy into a second Chimera guy, and then the Entus, when you target something, gets negated by Cornfield. So there's a world Chimera, but if they don't know what they're doing, and they
how
just
far
do
is
some other
Dortmund for
things.
you? It's like
I watched the game
2-hour
actually.
train
They
ride
got
or
Slayer,
something
and he
is
just
what I'm going to do.
got popped.
Not bad.
So maybe it's Entus, maybe it's Garura, but I think you have to play a target. Especially because their side deck is kind of cut off in space. You could put this in the extra. We're gonna go over that in a sec. And then...
How does this out Borland? It would only if they have another Link monster, right? Because you can, like... The Evil Twin Link in the graveyard does not target. But the Ultimate Slayer does target. So they would have to have another Link monster. Which they don't always do, right?
And one draw for crossout.
Seal Borland, yeah.
And the one back here for crossout / Trust. So it's basically the same cards that I had in my list, just in a different order, plus layers. And then extra deck is the same extra. Double Noir, Baby Noir, Double Happy, Beauty, Plump, Double Zeus. I swear I never summoned this card. Slacker, Downerd, Azalea, Anima. These are like the ones you have to play. And then the 2 spots you could... Oh. Excuse me, sorry. I'm ill. The 2 spots you could consider cutting to make the Life Twin Brick is the Dark and the Princess Pride. So Dark is a contact C1, and it comes up against Unchained. And because I was playing Go First Purrely, in theory this Princess Pride can come up. I think I did it like once or twice.
Okay. That is the list. let's quickly think about and then move. Let's quickly think about it and then move on to the next deck. Because like I said, I did want to kind of speed through like some the top 3, 4, 5 most relevant decks. When you're playing against the Purrely deck in YCS Dortmund, I would always expect it to have. Hold up. I would always expect it to have these cards, right? These are to be expected. Maybe 1 or 2 less Purrely Streets, but I think this is the baseline of a Purrely deck. Like, this is where you should start as well. This is what I would suggest you start with. It's not like a crazy information or whatever. And then the remaining 11 non-engine slots are like, in the current format, people did like books, cross out and shit like that. I don't know if books are... books are in a weird place for YCS Dortmund. I guess let's discuss books right now. I am inclined to think books are still decent because Purrely is still a thing in the meta, right? And books are solid against Purrely for sure, right? Is there a matchup where books are actually bad, right? That's what I'm trying to think. Books are pretty bad against branded, which is a thing, right? Books are bad against lab, I would say, unless they have skill drain, in which you can dodge it with book. So that's like a niche usage for book, which can matter sometimes. Books are okay against Unchained. Like, I think books are good against Unchained when you go second because it outs the Caesar, which is a problem for some decks. So I don't hate books there. I think going first against Unchained, the books are a lot worse, right? Because you booking their stuff face down doesn't really do anything, right? Because they can still pop it. Like, if they go, like, let's say they go, I don't know, normal summon Tour Guide, special summon Fiendish Rhino Warrior. What am I going to do? Am I going to book that? Because if they have Aruha, they can still pop that, right? You can pop your set cards with the ones in hand. Like, Aruha or the Red Dog just plays through a book, right? So I'm not sure if I like that. And then books also are kind of polarizing against the combo decks. Like, I think going second against Manadium or whatever, if book is your non-engine, that doesn't really do much, right? Unless you pair it with hand traps. Like, if you have 2 hand traps and a book, you might be okay. But then it's definitely the hand traps doing the heavy lifting, right? It's not the book. The book is usually against all the combo decks. The book is going to be negated anyways, right? Because it's just too late in your turn. So yeah, books are kind of polarizing. I don't hate them, but I also don't think they're like amazing across the board, right? Because it's like I think the reason why, like, books are always okay cards, right? Like how Enemy Controller and how Forbidden Chalice are like always okay cards. But the reason why books were better in this format, particularly than other options, right? Because you're always comparing like non-engine cards to other non-engine cards. You're always comparing, what does a book do for me as opposed to what an extra hand trap does for me, or what a different type of board breaker like Talons does for me, or Thrust, or Called by the Grave, or a Kaiju, or whatever, right? You're comparing those, and the reason why books were so much better in this previous format than those other options was because they were really solid, but they also were by far the best way to just out a Rysart, right? And that argument being gone doesn't make books bad, but it just makes them worse in comparison to other cards. And that's how I'm feeling about books right now. I'm feeling like they're still good cards. I don't think you're going to be super disappointed when you put books into your deck. But I feel like whenever you draw a book, there might be a better card you could have had in that scenario. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I'm at with the consideration about the books. Unless you're playing like a deck that is specifically really, really worried about like Purrely. Droplet isn't just insane for Purrely, for example. Droplet... My issue with Droplet is that, yes, I get to use the card now, right? Because Arisard is gone, so Droplet is unlocked again. Like you can play Droplet. It's a card again, right? That's the good news. The bad news is it's a card again, but is it a good enough of a card? Which I'm not sure, because I'm not a huge fan of Droplet against Purrely, for example. Right? Like, Droplet is not very good against Purrely. Droplet against Unchained seems okay to me, but not phenomenal, because you can Droplet to out the Caesar, and you can negate Unchained Soul of Rage. Let's just assume the standard board, right? Let's just assume the standard Unchained board of Caesar and Caesar, Soul of Rage, and the back row that pops 2 cards, right? And you just go Droplet. You need to send 2 cards to negate both monsters. Then they can go they can use the trap card to pop their own Soul of Rage. Then they bring back the Soul of Rage, so they can still use it to link summon, right? So the only thing you're really negating with Droplet is the Caesar. That's the only thing you're doing, essentially, right? Nothing else, right? And you need to send 1 or 2 cards to the graveyard for that. I'm not sure if that's that great. Droplet is good against Purrely. What do you mean? They can't ever activate Noir if you have Droplet? You are okay. No, so what you're saying is not wrong. Like, if they have a Noir with 5 materials or 6 materials, and you have a Droplet in your hand, if they ever use the Noir, you can chain Droplet because it's now affected. You are right about that. The problem is, think about what would have happened to get to that point, right? They've already established a 5 or 6 material Noir, which means they've probably activated Purrely Leap. They've probably already drawn at least 2 cards with Sleepy Memory, maybe 4, right? So their hand is stacked. They have follow-up like crazy. They probably have hand traps. So you need to start playing into the Noir. And the problem is that there's a lot of decks that cannot force the opponent to activate Noir, right? Because the only way to force them to activate the Noir is to threaten an Underworld Goddess. Which means you need to put like 4 bodies onto the field before you can even threaten Goddess, which not that many decks can do easily against hand traps potentially. And then freaking you negate the Noir with Droplet. If they eventually feel forced to use it, you Droplet it. You still need to win that turn, or you're gonna lose to the follow-up. So I don't think Droplet is very good against Purrely. Like, and when I say it's not very good, I'm not saying it's completely dead. Like, yes, you can activate it sometimes if you can force them to activate the Noir. I just think that at that point, it's like way too late. And I would have much rather, booked the thing when they targeted it for Leap, or I would have had like Thrust into Herald of the Abyss or a Kaiju or Kurikara or whatever, right? Like, it's like there's much better options for the matchup. And when a card is not amazing, like when Droplet is not amazing against like Unchained and Purrely, I don't think it makes the main deck cut, does it? Like, those are the freaking right? I don't know. And there was something else I was going to say. Like, Droplet was really good in like formats where you needed, like, Droplet did something very, very well in like Baron the Fleur format, Scythe format. Like when there was like specific interactions that needed to happen like in the draw phase or standby phase, and you needed to interact with it, and like there was a Baron Omni negate on the board, right? the fact that the reason why Droplet was so good was not because of what it did, it was because it couldn't be negated, right? The fact that it couldn't be negated was the biggest deal because there were decks that had Omni negates, right? Like Baron or whatever, right? And if you played other cards like books or whatever, they would just get negated, right? And Droplet couldn't be negated. And right now, there's not many decks that make negates. So you have a lot of other options that are, I think, better than Droplet simply because they won't be negated, right? The only exceptions... Shippa, thank you for the 9 months. The only exception as to where I think Droplet is actually really powerful is when your deck struggles with specifically that, right? If your Droplet is... If you want a side deck Droplet to have an answer to, for example, Dragon Link and Infernoble, I can get behind that. If you want a side deck Droplet because you're scared of being Abyss Dweller in a certain deck, like maybe you're playing Unchained and you are very, very afraid that a certain matchup is going to Droplet you, is going to Dweller you. Like, okay, you can play Droplet for that. Is Droplet an all-rounder, super solid card for the upcoming format so that you can main deck it because it's good in every matchup? I don't think so. I don't think so. I really don't think so. Like, yeah, I don't see it. Droplet against Purrely is worse than Chalice. Like, actually, that's a very good comparison. Chalice against Purrely and against Unchained is probably better than Droplet. Because it, like, your argument of, like, yeah, you just wait for them to activate Noir, detach 2, then they're affected, you just chain Droplet. You can just chain Chalice. It's the same thing. But they can chain Noir again, I guess. But like, still, it's fine. Chalice does target, but I'm not telling you to play Chalice. I don't think Chalice is good enough. I'm just comparing the two. But against Unchained, for example, I'm pretty sure you can just Chalice the Wave King Caesar, and that's better, right? Just Droplet, just Chalice the Wave King Caesar, and that's the same thing as Dropleting, pretty much. Like, actually the same thing. Without having to send cards away. So that's that. Anyways, that being said, I think the most popular way to play Purrely is probably going to be to play hand traps, right? That's what I'm feeling like. I think the main thing people are going to do with Purrely in the main deck is like just play a decent amount of hand traps like this, like 9 hand traps or some shit. And then fill up with, like, you know, some talents. I don't think you're going to main deck cross out anymore because people are not going to be on that many books. Like, you know, I could see something like Thrust in the main deck. With, like, maybe you respect the mirror match to play Herald of the Abyss. All right, something like this I could see. This is like solid, I think, right? A starting point, right? A starting point. That's really all we need right now. Isn't Veiler better than Imperm? Now, why would Veiler be better than Imperm? Like, genuine question. Because I don't think it's close. I think Imperm is so much better because it doesn't play into talents, doesn't play into thrust. Works in the draw phase. I don't see. I mean, I guess you can draw it. You can draw it, but honestly, I don't think that's the biggest issue. I don't think that's the biggest issue because that's what I used to do, right? If anyone was here back in the day when we built Purrely for the first time, my initial reaction to finding out about Sleepy Memory was like, yeah, you play a shit ton of hand traps so you can draw into them. My perspective on that has changed slightly. Like, I think if you ever get to the point where you set up a freaking unaffected Noir and draw a couple cards on your opponent's turn, you're already, first of all, you're already winning, and second of all, you are most definitely not dying 99% of the time. And so even if you draw a card that's like not a hand trap, rather like a board breaker or other non-engine, you can just use that on the next turn for the follow-up, right? Like, it's still fine. MFD1, thank you for the 2 months. I always prefer Furniture Labyrinth. I've always thought that was the superior version. The only other card I really see people main decking is Fenrir. Fenrir seems to be popular. Like, if someone is not a fan of Thrust, you know, if you're not a fan of Thrust, you can play less Thrust and play some Fenrirs. Yeah. Or instead of Nib. Like, Nib, I'm still not sure how much I like it. I think at this point in time, I feel like it's... The Jesse video is probably popular enough, the point that people will know how to play around Nib with Unchained, and people will probably do that because the line, honestly, the line that plays around Nib is just a very solid one. So yeah, but Nib is insane to draw off of Sleepy Memory, right? Like, when you go first, you make a Noir, you draw a Nib. There's nothing in the world that they can do pretty much to win the game. Could Runic Labyrinth be worth because you can make a Chaos Angel with Hugin and a Lady? I mean, you could try it. The problem is that, like, that deck is going to be horrible going second, right? Like, the Runic engine is very strong at going second, but you need to pair it with other. Like, basically, in order to play into your opponent's board with Runics, you need, like, a full engine hand. And Labyrinth cards are not considered engine going second because there's a lot of trap cards. But, yeah. But it's good going first. Well, yeah, but a deck being good going first is nothing special in Yu-Gi-Oh! That's normal. Like, your deck is expected to be good going first. The decks that really come out on top are the decks that can win going first and going second. Because otherwise you just have a 50% win rate, and that does not win tournaments. Alright, Purrely done. Purrely done. What else? Rescue Ace. Let's do Rescue Ace. There's no video for Max Reynolds' Rescue Ace, but they've posted it on Twitter. Let's see. The other one, let's see if this deck profile. Let's look at Rescue Ace really quick.
Buenas chicos, soy Héctor Pérez y acabo de hacer top 32 en el YCS de Cancún. Yo jugué Rescue Ace y este es mi deck. Bueno, por la...
Did you see Hoban's profile and his POV about Fenrir being the auto-include in every deck? I think we're coming to this point in the next format. We can watch it in a bit. I haven't seen it.
Juego doble Nibiru, más que nada porque juego un crossout. O sea, juego crossout, entonces es para banearlo si es que hago el combo y después tener otro, y contra un Shaynet es bueno, pero igual pueden hacer combo. Las Ash y en este caso un Impermanence por el crossout también. La línea de Rescue,
it's an old deck profile, okay.
Diferente. Jugué, en este caso jugué 2 Turbulence, 2 Preventer, 3 Hidrantes, un Impulse y Lifter. Solo juego un...
Honestly, out of all the meta decks right now, I think I know the least about Rescue Ace. I haven't really looked into Rescue Ace pretty much at all yet.
Impulse porque no...
Let's just actually, you know what, this deck, and that's why I'm interrupting the deck profile, because it's probably a good deck profile, but I don't speak Spanish, and I'm not even confident I know exactly what all the cards do, so I'm not really getting much out of this right now. Let's just let's quickly just look at Max Reynolds' deck. I'm just gonna build it, and we're gonna read the cards. Okay. Rescue Ace. All right, so you play 3 airlifters, 1 fire engine in this list, 3 hydrants, 3 impulse. I know this one is the Havness. 2 turbulence and 2 preventer. 1 headquarter. Rescue Ace. So you play 3 of the emergency teleport. 1, this one, and this one. Right, this is all the Rescue Ace cards they were using. And then, of course, because it's 2023, they used 3 Prosperities. Ash Blossom. Fenrir. Nibiru. Ibli. Ibli in the main deck is interesting. I don't see that one very often. Imperm. Hold by. And Rhoda. So this is Max Reynolds' list. This is Max Reynolds' list. So let me just very quickly go over it. And also look at the 1-card combo, honestly. Let's get the extra deck too. Pazlomino. Almirage, Gigantic Sprite. This is how they get to this is how they get to the Ibli, by the way. They make Pazlomino, right, to make a level 2 monster. This is rank 2, so you make another monster level 2 with it, and then you get to Gigantic. It's yeah, phenomenal. And this is one of the decks that can make Dweller. This is one of the decks that can make Dweller. So, like, if you're playing Unchained... Oh, no, it's the wrong one. Link Kuribo. It's kind of crazy that we're not playing... I'm just noticing this while going through. Rescue Ace, I think, is a deck that has a decent amount of, like, extra deck space. And we're still not playing an... oh, no, we are playing a normal summon 4. Oh, Beat Cop. Beat Cop alert. Sunlight Wolf and IP Masquerena. I was about to say we're not playing a way to link off Ibli when we normal summon it, but we have Almarash. Never mind, I was chatting. Alright. I'd say most of this, if not everything, transfers pretty well into this upcoming format. I can't really judge the ratios on the Rescue Ace cards. Yeah, I won't. But the rest, it seems like it would translate, right? You have the Rescue Ace package, you have Prosperity, you're gonna keep playing Ash. Fenrir remains playable, Nib remains playable, Imperm remains playable. And these, so it looks like a very solid baseline for Unchained. Like it honestly looks like, it honestly almost looks like Unchained Rescue Ace kind of builds itself, right? I don't think it's logical to play 3 Fenrir with 3 Impulse. So okay, so Impulse. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, quick effect, you contribute this card from your hand or face-up field to special summon a machine Rescue Ace from your deck. You know what I think about Rescue Ace Impulse? I think very, very, very often the good players will not use it on the opponent's turn. I think they will wait to use it on your own turn. Simply because you don't want to play into Thrust, right? A hand trap that puts a monster onto the field is very dangerous, and I think very often you keep it for your own turn, and I think that's why Fenrir is okay. Right? I think that's why it's fine, is when you go second, you draw Impulse and Fenrir, you just wait, you don't do it, and then you just go special Fenrir, start playing, your opponent activates a monster effect, you go activate Impulse for a free emergency teleport, right? I think that's what's happening a lot. All right, chat. Can we very quickly, just so we're all on the same page, is there anyone in chat? There's Jordan, you know this, right? You know how to do the 1-card Airlifter combo. Can we, I guess I might be able to work it out. Let me see. So Airlifter is a 1-card combo, right? Let's go through this one by one. Hold up. Just so we're all familiar with this, right? In preparation for Dortmund. So, If this card is normal or special, you can add a rescue a spell from your deck to your hand. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, you contribute this card from your hand or face up field. Special summon a rescue ace from your hand except Airlifter. Okay, so pop, normal summon, effect. Add a spell card. We get emergency? Probably. And this one is special summon a rescue ace from your deck in defense position, then tribute a rescue ace from hand or field. All right, so we go, what is it? Hydrant? And Hydrant is, while you control a rescue ace monster other than Hydrant, your opponent's monsters cannot target this card for attacks. Also, your opponent cannot target this card with effects. During your main phase, you can add a rescue ace monster from deck to your hand. Okay, so we need to tribute Airlifter first. And then we go effect, add a rescue ace monster from deck to hand. We just go Turbulence? Because we have 2 cards in the grave. Ah! Okay, now I get it. We've looked at this before. I'm just reminding myself. But this is why Hydrant is not a 1-card combo, right? It's because in this, you don't have 2 cards in the graveyard to just special out Turbulence. So Hydrant on its own does not do the Turbulence setup. Alright, special summon Turbulence by banishing 2. And then you just use the effect? Do you just use the effect? So the 1-card combo does not have a way to play around like imperm and shit, right? You don't have like that. You don't have that, right? All right, and then Turbulence is going to set all of these, which means we have a Rhoda, a Imperm, plus no material, a Pop, and a Reborn. From both graveyards, right? All of them are set. And then we get to activate this because of Hydrant, right? And then we get to add Preventer, which is the new one, right? Preventer is the new dude. Banish a rescue ace card from grave, special summon this card from hand. If you control another rescue ace monster, quick effect, target a monster your opponent. That's Book of Moon. That's quick effect Book of Moon. And then with the 1-card combo, do you just call it a day here? Is it just like you pass on Book of Moon plus the 3 back row? No, you can... Oh, we can... We're not done. Okay. You did miss the unboxing, yeah. But thank you for the 2 months still. So, Hydrant and Prevent... Ooh, because we can still summon from the banished pile. Right. No, I see. So Puzzlomino. And then Airlifter gets summoned by Preventer, right? Because... No, Preventer. Preventer, if this card is sent to the grave, target a banished rescue ace except the level 8, special summon it, right? And then Puzzlomino triggers, makes this do the level 2. And then we freaking... We do the cringe thing, right? Right? That's what you do. So what do the... Genuine question... Because I know that not everyone plays Ibli. What do you do without Ibli? Like, if you don't have Ibli and you are at this stage, with Preventer and Hydrant. What is it? What is like the combo that they do? You're supposed to leave Hydrant on board? Okay, I just followed what chat said. Why is it better to have Hydrant set than Turbulence? Oh, the traps are only stronger if you have Hydrant. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. You go into Sunlight Wolf, add back Preventer, right? So you would go, if you don't want to Ibly, you could do something like this, this, right? And then you can make Appaloosa, you can make IP, I suppose. Apparently there's terahertz combos, okay. The one thing I will say that I kind of like about Ibly, well, there's nothing I like about Ibly, first of all. But the thing that what I understand about it, like why I understand that you want to play it, is that I heard from a lot of people that their solution to Rescue Ace is to simply like clear all the back row with something like Lightning Storm or Evenly Matched, right? You just activate those cards and the deck seems really weak to it. From like the setup I'm seeing here, it's like, you know, most of your setups are pretty weak into Lightning Storm or Evenly Matched, right? And Ibly answers both of those questions, right? And that's both of those problems, I mean. So I could definitely see why they want to do Ibly. I'm just not sure if you need to main deck it, right? This was one card, to be fair. Yes, still, even if you have 4 cards left in your hand, like all of the cards left in your hand and deck are Rescue Ace cards. So if your opponent outs this entire board, like you're out of the, like all of this is one-offs, right? You can't really do like a huge Turbulence turn again. I'm sure you have other ways of playing the game, but like the main thing that your deck does has been like outed if they evenly this, right? You can with the field spell? What does the field spell do? You can target 4 of your Rescue Ace cards that are banished in the grave, shuffle them into the deck, draw 1 card. Okay, that's good. However, when you get evenly, a lot of the stuff is banished face down, right? So I get what you're saying. But not always possible. Not always possible, right? Better against Lightning Storm for sure. That is one thing. That is probably the reason why they play the headquarters. It's just like you don't have to play multiples of the spells and traps. You can just recycle them with headquarters. That's good. No, I don't hate Rescue Ace. The more I'm looking at it, I think it's a decent deck. I don't think it's like insane. I don't think it's like a crazy strong deck, but it's looking solid, right? It's looking solid. You can recover easily from a Lightning Storm. I think you can. Resource-wise, I think you can recover from a Lightning Storm. The problem is that what else happens on the turn you get Lightning Storm, right? Like on the turn you get Lightning Stormed, your opponent is probably like almost completely free to play the game, and you're gonna have some problems with that. Like they're gonna either kill you or set up their own crazy board, and then it's not going to be easy for you to get all your resources back, right? Is it also like this particular version of the deck that I'm looking at right now, right? The Max Reynolds build does not really play any way to protect your Turbulence from Imperm or Veiler, right? I mean, you have Called by for Veiler, but that's one card. Like, there's no... Because I remember there was like a line with Proxy F Magician to make like Mud Dragon, to make your Turbulence untargetable. Right? Those cards weren't popular in Cancun, to be fair. Yeah. I'm just saying moving forward. I'm saying moving forward, Like that's completely fine when everyone is playing Thrust, Talents, Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse, right? You don't care, right? Doesn't matter. Like you just resolve Turbulence and win. And that is also why that's also why the Rescue Ace deck maybe was a good call for YCS Cancun once again, because it doesn't seem like this deck is particularly weak to books, at least going first. Books are not that bad. Going second, maybe you're hurt by books. Maybe it could be a problem. Maybe it's not. But you know, books are not very good against it. Thrust and Talents going second, like when this deck sets up, completely, and your opponent is good and uses their spell and traps first as interruptions, it's gonna be very hard to trigger Thrust and Talents, right? You basically need to force out the Book of Moon from Preventer to use your Thrust or Talents. But if they have freaking 3 other disruptions first, right? Eclipse outs Ibli and turns off Rescue Ace traps. I guess Eclipse is fine. Yeah, Eclipse is fine because it books everything. Book of Moon is not good enough, right? Book of Moon is not good enough. But I can see Eclipse being good, yeah. But you can Reborn to turn on the traps, right? You can still just Reborn. Yeah. Or Emergency, depending on what. Ulysses, thank you for the 5 months. And I am doing good. Thank you for asking. How are you? Turbulence second effect? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what is Turbulence second effect? If another card you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, target a card in the field, destroy it. Also a good bonus effect to have. But yeah. What's the point from using Ibli if cash is gone? Well, I mean, the thing is, you have to play something in your extra deck. Like, you have to play, like, when you get to the point where you have Turbulence, Preventer, Hydrant on the board, you want to have some line to convert into, right? There's different possibilities, but you definitely want to have some plan for this, right? You don't want to just leave it like that. And Ibli, my personal take is I would probably do this, because I think siding Ibli against Evenly Matched and Lightning Storm is very good. I don't think you need to main deck it necessarily. I don't really see a reason to, because I don't expect anyone to main deck Duster or Evenly. And it is an awful draw when you go second, and also an awful draw when you go first. So I don't know if I would main deck the Ibli when like going first game 1, you can just make like a different opener, right? But yeah, like you could just game 1, you could just go for like a Heat Soul line, draw some extra cards, play some hand traps, right? Like, you know, you already have good hand traps to draw into. Just make Heat Soul for crazy follow up and have hand traps in the back, and then you're just gonna be chilling, I think. But Ibli seems like a very good side deck to counter Lightning Storm and Evenly. Right? Alright. Those are like the top 3 decks I wanted to look at for now. Do we move into Master Duel immediately, or do we do 1 or 2 decks more? I don't know what other decks I wanted to really look at. Like, I know a lot of you guys are saying Salamangrate. I'm not sure if we really need to, like, I don't know. Tier? Okay, no, actually, no, that's a good point. Tearlaments are interesting. Tearlaments are interesting. I'm because I'm gonna be honest with you, Chad. How do you even build a Tearlament deck right now? How do you build a freaking Tearlament deck right now? Tearlament. 1 Halfness, 1 Merly, 1 Sharon, 3 Rhino Hearts. We have Beast still. We have Scream. We might have Heartbeat. We might not play all of the traps. We'll see. Oh, we also have multiple Saliacs. See, I autopiloted to 1 Saliac because of freaking Master Duel. We have this. We have Tearlaments Kashtira, which is probably good. There's so many options. Purrely Rhino. We have Terraforming. And then you could play, like, you have so many options. You have Wraithsoth, like, you have an entire Kashtira package you can play of, like, Fenrir. You need 3 tier cash? Yeah, I could see that. Because one thing I was thinking about was you could do something with Revolution Synchron. I know we don't have Chaos Ruler, but wouldn't it be cool to go like Wraithsoth and then you go Revolution Synchron into Ancient Fairy and then you swap your Wraithsoth for a free Purrely Rhino? Or you swap your Purrely Rhino for a free Wraithsoth? Isn't that cool? I'm not sure if it's worth the slots, but it sounds kind of cool. But I don't know. King of the Swamp, Ishizu's. Yeah, King of the Swamp seems necessary. Where is it? King of the Swamp. 1 Poly. That makes Grapha. We play Ishizu cards. Up, 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 up. Trivi Karma? Trivi Karma. Yeah, we could. Foolish. Burial. Mali? You know what my issue with Mali is? Because Mali seems like a really good card, but when you Mali, you really want to make Garura, and I honestly think making Garura with this list is really hard because you need 2 Tearlament names basically to make Garura, because it's the same type and attribute, but different names. Dangerous? Okay, hold up. Dangerous. So you mill Mali and a tier name. You're telling me I mill Mali and a tier name, then I make Dangerous with the Mali, and then I have to discard a card to send the Mali back to the graveyard, and then I go Beatrice. Okay. We could play Diviner. Do we play 3 Diviners? We have 6 normal summons. Is that too much? It could be okay. Beatrice. I don't know if you play 3 Rhinos. Oh, Rhino Heart? I guess Rhino Heart does not do anything on its own. Because no Kid Kalos, you go normal summon Rhino Heart, does not do shit. Interesting. Do I play 3 Fenrir? Probably, right? I'm thinking 3 Fenrir, 1 Wraithsoth, so that if I drop Purrely Rhino Terraforming or whatever, I can just do both. 2 Fenrir? Could be 2 Fenrir. Thank you, Zach. Thank you for the 10 months. You did miss the unboxing, yeah. I can show it again in a bit when we switch to Master Duel. I play Unicorn 2 with Birth. I do think that's interesting. Like if you add like a little bit more Cash Tira into the mix, you can maybe play like some solid Cash Tira grind game in case the mills don't go your way. Let's try 2 Rhino Hearts. I'm not too convinced. This is already looking wacky, but I already love it. I already love this deck. I'm in love with it. I can already tell this shit is based. What else is there? What other options do we have? Goods? Goods seems like it's... Yeah, you should probably play Goods. I mean, you have Saliak, Scream, Trivikarma. Shit does whatever you want it to do, right? I don't think you need to play multiples to, like, reduce the risk. Like, when cards like this... With cards like this one, I actually do like playing exactly 1 copy. Simply because the card does some stuff for this deck. It's a good card, but you don't rely on it. And so playing 1 is kind of like the best of both worlds. Like you get to have the card in your deck. It fixes some of your hands, but you never have the risk of drawing multiples. Like in cards that are not essential to your strategy, I think that's a solid thing to do. We have no non-engine. We have no non-engine. Redoer, Mud Dragon, Zeus, Dragostapelia, Gameciel. I guess Gameciel would help making Kaleido a little bit because Aqua. Oh yeah, we need Guardian Chimera. Holy shit, yeah, of course. We play Poly. Yeah, I love that. Is there any universe where we need any rank 7s? We could play Entis as an option. Bahamut and Toad? Oh my god, yes. Bahamut and Toad. God, yes. Dweller, strong for Unchained. Yep. Dark Sprint, maybe? Oh shit, okay, I'm noticing a problem. Everyone is spitting with your suggestions right now, but I'm already noticing a problem. Baron... Cross Sheep. Uh-oh. How are we getting the second water for Bahamut Shark? Okay, so it's 1 Rhino Heart and then it's Mud Dragon. And that makes Bahamut Shark. Let me take this out. Yeah, and this is also probably one problem with the Revolution Synchron, because you would really need... you would need Ancient Fairy Dragon, Crystal Wing, and probably also Black Rose. So that's like 3 cards on top for the extra deck. So that seems like a big problem. We definitely want Dark and Sprint, I think. Do we have to take out the... I guess we can take out Entis. Sprint goes in. We take out Bahamut and Toad, even though it pains me. And we have this. Maybe this is fine. Am I missing any fusion monsters? I don't think I need Garura, right? I think Garura... the option might be nice. The option might be nice, but I'm not sure if we can consistently make Garura. No Shadows? I mean, where am I getting the space to also put Winda? Like, what the hell? There's like 5 cards I want to put into this extra deck. Cut Zeus? Okay. Could do that. Don't hate that. Don't love that, but don't hate that. Mm. The Grand Guignol tech was really good. What's the Grand Guignol tech? Like Cartesia in this deck? That's funny. Okay, so you make Grand Guignol with a tier name plus King of the Swamp. And then you can send Mali. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Way too many good cards is the problem of modern tier, you say, huh? Okay, what's the best non-engine so we can get this to 40 cards? What is the best non-engine? Because the deck has been cooked. But what non-engine do we... Or do we just go 4-bore engine? Droplet? There's no shot it's Droplet. There's no shot it's Droplet. There's also no shot it's Super Poly. Super Poly sucks right now, chat. Only because your deck has fusion monsters does not mean you're legally required to put Droplet into your deck. I'm just informing you about that, right? You don't have to do that. Gamma Seal? I could see playing Gamma Seal. Because it's an aqua monster. It's a monster to make Guardian Chimera with. Let's run it. Hoggers deck, okay. I don't know. Let's throw the Garura in here for now. Alright, let's see if Tearlaments is strongest. Where do I even begin, dude? I want to say Diviner first. Spin the wheel. We got a Guido. Middle 5. God damn. The fuck is happening? Do I use this? Do I use this? I don't think I do. So this makes Baron, but I could also make Beatrice. What does Beatrice do that I need? If I use Rhinoheart, I can make Redoer and Beatrice. Good God. I could make Redoer and Beatrice. What is the cross sheep lines? To... Bro, good God. Is this deck back? It might be. It might be fucking back. What do I send with Beatrice even? What do I have that I haven't used yet? I've used this. I've used this. I can still Trivi Karma. I can get Shufflers. I do kind of want to keep... I do have a Tearlament to keep on board. I have Havness. I can just goods. No, let's not use Rhinoheart. Make freaking Baron the Fleur. This should be here. Activate goods for Trivi Karma to add Scream. Oh, we could have done this before making Baron, so we still get a mill 3. Alright. Yo, good God! I'm not breaking this board. I don't know about you, but I'm not breaking this board next format. I'm losing to that. I'm dead. I'm dead. I have lost. Taijan, I'm not sure. See, the thing is, I'm not sure if you're trying to insult me right now. Because the big Edison tournament is during the main event, so I think you're trying to be mean. Oops. Diviner, send Agido. Yeah, it's definitely 3 Diviners, by the way. Diviner is a much better normal summon than Rhinoheart. You might not even play more than 1 Rhinoheart. Rhinoheart kind of... Without the freaking Kid Close, Rhinoheart kind of sucks ass. It's a good mill, though. If you have, like, Scream in hand... You're right. It is a good mill, and it makes rank 4s, and it discards, like, Sulliak and Scream for pluses. But drawing it is kind of whack, but... Normal summon... You just send Tear Cash and pray to God. I see. Okay. Where's Agido? Agido! Okay. Oh, I mean, that's enough, honestly. That just gets Sharon, and Sharon does whatever I freaking want it to do. Oh. Oh. I'm not ready. So what is it here? Yeah, you should. You should imperm freaking Diviner. if you're playing against this deck. With the quickness, I suggest you negate Diviner if you can. Throw your entire life savings into negating that Diviner. You don't want that Diviner to resolve, please. Not using Rhino. Oh, shit. No, I haven't used Rhino. Yeah. You use Rhino. Yeah. You bring back Rhino Heart by discarding Tier Cash. And then... What do you fusion summon, though? You can't really fusion summon anything right now. That's good. But we don't have to. Do we? We could turn the Sharon into a Garura. Oh, no, actually, I like that. Hold up. We're using Rhino Heart to send... I don't know which one we haven't used yet. Let's say Purrely. Then we do this. This. Right? For Garura. And then this. We don't even... Yeah, then this is Baron. And then Mali makes Beatrice. Oh, God. You can make Dragos Tapel. I could have still made Dragos Tapel, yeah, but I can also just grab a trap. The thing is, what if you don't open Diviner? Give me a hand without Diviner. Okay. This hand is much worse. So what do you do? Do you just go Rhino Heart, Scream, send Tier Cash, and Gamba? You probably, right? I think we just Gamba. Hold up. Oh no, actually, no, Trivy is in hand. That's why. We deck thin the Poly. Isn't Sharon better? I don't think it would be. Right? I mean, I guess we can just go Rhino Heart, mill 3, and then send a name. Like 1, 2, see what we mill. Ah, Saliak's been used already. That's cringe. So here, it's just a name, probably. Right? And that can make Rule Kalos. It can make Rule Kalos or Grapha. Rule Kalos is probably better. But that's about it, right? It ends. It ends here. The moment where this deck gets completely absurd, I think, is when it goes mill 5. Right? So drawing Diviner or drawing Foolish or drawing like Kelbeck plus Keldo or some shit like that, right? That's where it becomes completely absurd. The other hands have to kind of freestyle. Right? Ah. But it's... Yeah, like, this hand is completely absurd. No, I think the cool thing about Tearlaments is, like... it looks like it's going to be a very cool deck building challenge because there's a lot of things to do here. Like, this is very far from perfect. There's a lot of ratios all over the place. There's a lot of stuff you can probably improve on. Even the extra deck, like figuring out the extra deck is also going to be super important, right? Because there's so many options, right? Do you play Winda? Do you play Bahamut Shark Toad? Do you play the Entis for Diviner? Do you even play the Dangerous Beatrice package? Do you go for Revolution Synchron with some synchros? So on and so forth, right? I think it looks cool though. I don't think it looks bad at all. Looks solid. Just see how good the deck still is now and how good it was at max power. No, yeah, it's crazy to think we are actually getting into like the OCG territory situation where like we're looking at a deck right now that has so many hits on the ban list and it's still considered to be a good deck. I don't know. Isn't the Shadol version better? I don't know, dude. I've just drawn 3 opening hands with the deck. How am I supposed to already tell you what the best possible version of the deck is? I don't think Shadols are... Like, I think playing one Shadol Beast is fine. Just for the random lucky mill or discard off of Sharon. I don't think I would lean into a Winda build, necessarily. I don't think so. Well, yeah. It's kind of wacky. I don't like how reliant this deck feels on milling or getting to Agido Kelbeck. It feels like the only way you're consistently getting your pluses and everything is if you have access to the mill 5, which makes it a little bit like full power Ishizu tier. Of course, did play the mill 5 dudes, but it was very often enough to you didn't need to get there, right? You were okay playing with just the Tearlament cards. It was still good enough. This one, I mean, you can barely play with the freaking Tearlament cards, right? You have barely any. You play like a couple only. Well, yeah. What is Malicious for? Malicious is for you can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one Destiny Hero Malicious from your deck. That's what Malicious is for. All right. Chat. We've been doing way more TCG than I wanted to today. We've been doing way more TCG than I wanted to today. And I know it's exciting, but we need to make a switch to Master Duel because there's also exciting stuff happening in Master Duel, and we will do more of this in the upcoming days. Obito Kun, thank you for the 4 months. Appreciate you. Welcome back. All right, let me quickly boot up Master Duel. And then we switch over. Just do a fast salad list. Honestly, the reason why I haven't looked into salad yet is because I think it's just the same list as before, but you just slap 2 extra gazelles in. Like the one I played at locals is probably what I would start with. Maybe switch some of the books for something else, like more hand traps. And, you know, that's that. All right. Oh, we still have more. I still don't have my tickets from all the thingies. What do we have? Bop, bop, bop. How would you solve the nib problem in salad? Simply don't get nibbed, I think. I'm not sure. There might be some lines with Weasel or Will of the Salamangreat to play around it. Okay, so we have some new stuff. We have a new secret pack. I don't think this has new cards. Newly added cards. No, nothing is new here, but it's just a new pack. So let's quickly get an ultra rare. Let's quickly get a free ultra rare. There we go. And then move on to other stuff. Confidence is key. Special ticket, let's go. Trophy time. Okay, you want to see the trophy? Give me a second. There it is. For everyone that missed the unboxing. Where do I go? Focus! It does not focus. It has our names on it, okay? It has our names on it, but it doesn't focus right now. But there we go. Let me carefully put this away. All right. All right. So, new things in Master Duel. Ninja cards are in Master Duel. I kind of want to try the ninja cards. I don't think it's a very good deck, but I think it would be fun to play some ninjas. The only thing that separates us from some good time with ninjas is the fact that I don't have gems. Luckily, there's a festival going on where we can just farm some gems. So we can simply first look at the event, and then we can move on to the thingy. Fusion event, Fusion XYZ. Does this mean can I play both XYZ and Fusion in my deck, or do I have to decide for one? Can't you just play Tearlaments? Oh no, you can't. Kid Kalos and Garura are banned. Holy shit. Okay, what is a cool deck we could use? Purrely? Oh, Noir is banned. Oh, you know what we could do? We could go blind second Purrely. We can blind second Purrely without Noir. That sounds nice. Let's do that. Edit. 1 Fenrir. No prosperity. We don't need prosperity. We play 3 streets. This goes. Slacker. Ucho. Can we play the other happiness? It's an ultra rare. Nope. There's no reason to play Leap, you're right. There's no reason to play Leap. What do we need in the extra deck even, honestly? Probably nothing. You can just play more of the Purrelys. I don't have more of the Purrelys. F0? I guess, theoretically, you could make that. Is there another good rank 1 that I'm missing? Robin? Oh, and Ensemble? I don't have that. But I don't mind crafting that if I can. Let me see if I have an ultra rare to dismantle. Oh yeah, I do. I have the Exabeetle that I just pulled. Dismantle selected cards. You are... Pop. Sure. You'll never make Robin? I probably won't, but it's not a bad card to have. Also for like Lyrilusk stuff in the future. I don't mind having that card. Maybe you just put Lingaribo or something. Yeah, Lingaribo is my favorite XYZ/fusion monster. That's a sick hand. Brother, that card is limited. Is branded fusion legal? Should I have ashed this? It's at 1? Okay. So technically, if I ash this tragedy, I shouldn't have brand. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm not going to. If I ash this tragedy, or if I ash this Aluber, they would have had it. It would have manifested in their hand. Heck. TJ Parker, thank you so much for the 8 months. Welcome back. We are incredibly close to hitting 1200 subs again. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Okay, there's Lubellion. But now what? Set. Wonderful. Get dusted on. I am almost positive that they die. If I go... I'm not sure. If I go normal summon Lily, and I add the field spell, they have to banish Lily. And then I go, I need to find happy memory with my friend, right? And that's it. Right? That's all I need to do, really. Right? Their only response that they have here is this, right? It's only the retribution in the graveyard. Actually, they can tag out. No, they can't. All right, so I go activate this. Queritus stops the OTK. They can't summon Queritus with this because it's only when a monster is special summoned by... Oh no, they can. When I rank up, they can. Tag out into Queritus. They could. Does this help? I'm not sure if it helps. This might help. Make pretty first. But if I make pretty first, how do I get to... How do I still get to make happiness? I know that it can negate Granguignol, but what does it do? I mean, I win if they don't play Quiritus. They probably do. All right. I mean, we just make the fattest Zeus in the history of Zeuses, no? This protects, right? Let's do this. Do I discard to add? I can. I can summon this in attack, run over Fenrir, and then rank up with it. That could be okay. Let us add... If I attach a delicious memory to happiness, does it gain attack? I don't think so. Let's just take this. I'm not sure if I do gain attack. I might. It does? Okay. What am I resolving? Do I discard? Yeah. This Aluber has been This Aluber has been through it this turn, dude. Put the square is to 157 attack. 200 damage. I think I want this to go to the graveyard because I want to make plump and then attach. I could have made the plump first, actually. That would have been a free attach, but yeah. It's not optimal, but it's fine. Now I can't suck up the Quiritus, but it's okay. Not ideal. Is this once per turn? Monka speed. Oops. Draw Ash would have been funnier. Yeah, it was dumb of me. It was dumb of me. Brandon in red. He drew Merc. Oh my god, they're not a real human being once again. Oh, I'm also not a real human being, by the way, if you've ever wondered. Goodbye, Zeus. Ooh. Wait, do I fucking lose? I do think I lose. Because I'm just out of plumps. We will survive, but I don't know how I break this board. My Zeus is gone. And I can't recycle because I don't play. I guess I should have probably put extra... I should have probably put extra purely XYZs into this. There definitely should be a third plump. So, end phase they get this? Don't know. Maybe we can make a F0 happen? I need more time for sure. We also have no more Purrelys, so we can't rank up anymore. No, you definitely... I think you need Leap just for the rank up, dude. Yeah, we're just out of shit. I'm stressed. The timer stresses me. Do I have to add? Yeah. Isn't this... Don't they have to fuse with their own? What do they make? Nothing. Okay, cool. Fog. Alright. Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm getting the feeling that the festival is actually very fun with Purrely without Noir. It's actually Purrely without Noir is kind of funny and fun to play. Anyways, chat, I have bad news. You have bad news. You know how I was sick the entire last week, pretty much? Well, now I have infected my fiance. I have infected Anne, and she's not doing very good right now. And she just told me she asked if it was possible that I stop stream a little bit sooner and take care of her. So I'm going to do that. I'm very sorry, but she's not feeling very well, and I'm gonna take care of her. I'm gonna make her some food and some tea and things that need to be done. So you know, very sorry for the early ending to the stream, but some things just need to be done. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry that we're ending it a little abrupt here, but that is important to me. So I will see you guys again tomorrow, where we continue this. It's gonna be fun tomorrow. So I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Until then, I'll send you guys over to Farfa. Have you a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.